is the proper way to clean and disinfect so you don't take your work home with you. Brought to you by Metrix, makers of Cavi Wipes and Cavicide. 1 out of every 20 people who end up in the hospital this year will contract a healthcare-associated infection, or HAI. A staggering 1.7 million HAIs are reported in the United States every year. According to the Centers for Disease Control, 99,000 people die from these infections annually. No one group is safe from healthcare-associated infections. More than 33,000 newborns in high-risk nurseries contract them, while nearly 20,000 healthy newborns suffer infections before they leave well-baby nurseries for home. Statistics for children and adults are even more compelling. Nearly 500,000 people in intensive care units end up with infections, and more than 3 times that number of patients outside ICUs contract an HAI. But these deaths don't have to occur, and these infections can be stopped. The Centers for Disease Control make it clear that cleaning and disinfecting environmental surfaces in healthcare facilities can greatly reduce the spread of HAIs. Knowing the enemy is the first line of defense in keeping HAIs at bay. The CDC has identified the 10 most common pathogens found in healthcare facilities. They're responsible for 84% of all healthcare-associated infections. These pathogens include multi-drug-resistant pathogens like MRSA, VRE, E. coli, and P. aeruginosa. Having a product that can disinfect thoroughly enough to wipe out pathogens is imperative to keeping HAIs out of your healthcare facility. In this video, we'll walk through the steps necessary for proper surface cleaning and disinfection so you can protect your patients, your staff, yourself, and your loved ones. Let's make sure you don't take your work home with you. A critical step in properly disinfecting your workplace is knowing the level of application needed for instrument and surface disinfection. As represented in this table, high-level disinfectants are used for heat-sensitive, semi-critical medical devices. Intermediate-level disinfectants can be used on non-critical instruments and environmental surfaces. And low-level disinfectants can be used on non-critical instruments and environmental surfaces. They are typically labeled hospital disinfectant without the tuberculocidal claim because they lack the potency to inactivate mycobacteria like TB. Mycobacteria like TB has the highest intrinsic level of resistance among all vegetative bacteria, viruses, and fungi. This means disinfectants with a TB claim on the label are considered capable of inactivating a broad spectrum of pathogens, including much less resistant microorganisms, such as bloodborne pathogens. This broad spectrum of capability is the basis for protocols and OSHA regulations that indicate the use of tuberculocidal chemicals for surface disinfection. Step 1 for any disinfecting process is cleaning. The CDC states, the actual physical removal of microorganisms in soil by wiping or scrubbing is probably as important, if not more so, than any antimicrobial effect of the cleaning agent used. What does this mean? It's simple. Thoroughly clean surfaces before disinfecting. Make sure all organic matter, salts, and visible soil are removed from all surfaces as a first step. This is your key to success. Step 2 is disinfecting. Make sure you not only use a fresh, pre-saturated wipe or disinfectant liquid on surfaces, but that you apply the disinfectant for the recommended contact time listed on the label. And remember to reapply if needed to keep it on the surface for the recommended contact time. Cavi Wipes and Cavicide will clean and disinfect TB in just 3 minutes, and MRSA, HBV, HIV-1, and HCV in just 2 minutes. On occasion, you might have large volume spills or debris. The CDC and OSHA recommend prompt removal of blood or body substances. you should first remove visible organic matter with absorbent materials, and then clean and decontaminate the area as outlined previously in this video. Using ready-to-use Cavicide and pre-saturated Cava wipes can help you avoid these contamination issues and assure your choice of disinfectant does not become a breeding ground for pathogens like P. aeruginosa.